Hello Birchview Dunes, Jon Montgomery here, host of the Amazing Race Canada and 2010 Olympic gold medalist in men's skeleton racing. It's April. What's that mean? Well, it's time for the newest edition in your Character Through Sport video series. Now back in the fall, Mr. Carson reached out to me to find out if I would be interested in being a part of this. Now when he talked to me about character traits, I had to jump at the opportunity because I fundamentally believe that you as individuals have complete control over your character traits. Our physical traits, maybe not so much. Me, for instance, I'm never gonna be more than 5 foot 9 inches tall on my best of days. And I'm never gonna be able to get a tan as much as I want one. So, what I can affect change in, what I do have control over, are my character traits. Now this month's character trait is optimism. That's something that I think I do pretty well at. Not all of them, but optimism is something that I'm pretty good at. So, what is it? Well, ripped from the headlines of Wikipedia, it states that optimism is hopefulness and confidence about the future or the successful outcome of something in our lives. So let's expand on that a little bit. A little bit about me, I guess, would help set this up, perhaps. Now, I'm from Russell, Manitoba. For those of you who don't know where Russell, Manitoba is, it's right along the Manitoba-Saskatchewan border. It's a community of about 1,600 people. There's possibly that many people in the entire gym right now, I don't know. But it's not a very big town, it's kind of podunk. Now, I guess Russell might not be the very first place that jumps to your mind when you're thinking of an Olympic skeleton athlete. Somebody that travels down a mountain, head first, on essentially a T-tray with rails at speeds of over 146 kilometers an hour, face first on their stomach with their chin on the ice. Maybe that's not where you think those people come from, but you'd be wrong. You might also think that Stanley Cup winners don't come from Russell, or Olympic gold medalists in the sport of men's hockey. Well, guess what? You'd be wrong there too. Because Theoren Fleury, the smallest player ever to play in the NHL, and myself, we both proudly claim Russell, Manitoba as our home. They say that the odds of winning an Olympic gold medal is 22 million to 1. Now in a community of 1,600 people, we have 2 Olympic gold medalists coming from that town. Is something different about Russell? Is there something in the water? Do they give kids steroids at the school? All of those things I can answer to you definitively, no. There is nothing different about Russell, Manitoba. There is absolutely nothing different about the people who call Russell, Manitoba home. Other than the fact, maybe it's their optimism. Maybe it's the attitude that they choose to have each and every day that separates Russellites from other people from other communities. Now, when I was young, in 1989, Theoren won the Stanley Cup, and he brought it home to our community. Now, as a 10-year-old, I couldn't understand how Theoren, the smallest guy in the NHL ever, could be from my hometown. I mean, I identified with Theoren on a whole different level because of my stature. I was the smallest kid in my grade. Remember picture day? Well, of course you guys do. Picture day, they used to line us up in ascending order from smallest to tallest. I was always at the front of the line. I was the smallest kid in my entire class. And so watching Theoren have success in hockey as a 10-year-old, it made me believe that big things could happen to small people from small towns. And it changed the way in which I viewed the world that I lived in. So for me to stand here today and to tell you that to believe in yourselves and to believe that your goals are possible, you need to be more optimistic. But then stop short of telling you how you can gain optimism, how you can gain a more positive attitude, how you can feel like your goals are within your reach. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about 3 quick points that through a conscious approach to building an optimistic attitude or to building a positive attitude, you will be better capable of achieving those BHAG goals that you've got for yourself. BHAG stands for Big, Hairy, Audacious Goal. And I want you all to set one for yourselves today. And these 3 things will help you get there. So the first one is, you are what you say you are. When we have a voice inside of our head telling us that we can't, we're not good enough, that we're going to trip, that we're going to fail, that we're going to fall short, guess what? You will. And whether you think you can or you can't, you're right, absolutely. The little voice inside our head is one of the biggest difference makers in whether we are successful in an attempt or not. And when you start to tell yourself, I can, I will, I'm good enough, I will get this, I'm going to earn it, you will, at a cellular level in your body, be more capable of achieving your goals. Because when we start to have a positive conversation with ourselves in our head, there is a chemical change within our body. Our finite muscle control becomes more in tune. Our ability to focus and to dial in on the things that need to be focused upon becomes greater. Now, when we're telling ourselves that we can't, we won't, your ability to rein these things in is nearly impossible. So start the positive conversation inside your head today, and you will be building optimism by tomorrow. Celebrating small victories along the way. This is such a fundamental practice into building optimism, into building belief in ourselves, that as human beings, over millennia of evolution, we have been evolving to celebrate. Celebrating small goals builds belief. Celebrating small goals is fuel for the fire, because undoubtedly, we're going to experience setbacks along this journey. And every time you experience a setback, you're having to draw upon strength from resources that you've already built up around yourself. And the resources that you can draw upon for building strength and resolve is through the celebration of small victories when you're encountering setbacks. So these things will help you believe that your big, hairy, audacious goal at the end of the line is within your reach. Celebrate the small goals along the way, and you will believe that that big goal at the end of the line is much more possible. Third thing is, watch other people do what you want to do. Watch other people succeed. By having witnessed somebody else doing what you want to do, it ingrains it into every fiber of your being. You can picture it in your mind's eye when you're visualizing it. You can see the success happen before you've ever done it in real life. Now, watching other people succeed is also going to help you become aware of some of the pitfalls that you need to avoid. And watching somebody else fall down, get back up, and dust themselves off is the kind of motivation that you're going to need when you do encounter a setback. It's not always going to be smooth sailing, people, but when you watch others succeed, you will believe in yourselves more often, and you'll have much more of an optimistic, positive outlook on life. And your goals, man, they will be within your reach. So, by telling yourself you're good enough, by celebrating the small victories, and by watching other people succeed, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to have all the optimism that you will ever need to be successful in this, the most exciting phase of your life. And that's it for this month's installment of Character Through Sport. Thanks very much, kids. Take care. You should thank your teachers. They're doing an amazing job.